Yo, what's going on, you guys? So finally, man, I get an opportunity to share with you guys my experience of going to my first ever Pokemon Regional, man. And it was, first of all, I wanted to let you guys know, if you've never been to a Pokemon Regional, if you never got a chance to ever compete on that type of level, I suggest you do. Never be afraid to step out there and just see what happens, because that's what me and my friends did. And let me tell you something, we had a great time, right? I also want to give an opportunity to share about some things that I've learned during my prepping process before the tournament, but also things that I've picked up on as the tournament was going on, and something that I'm going to take with me when I go to maybe another regional in the future. And if you guys haven't already, man, follow your boy, man. Subscribe, man. I do anime reviews, man. I talk about Pokemon when I get the chance. And man, if you like, talking about Pokemon and also anime as well, man, this is the channel for you, man. And if this is something that you truly like, man, go ahead and follow your boy, man. It'd be truly appreciated. And if you don't even follow, man, like, comment, give me some feedback, man. I'm here to grow and I'm here to learn, and I'm so excited that you guys are watching. So we're gonna get right into it. All right. So the first thing I want to make sure that I communicate, and I think a lot of people should do when they about to get ready to go to a regional and get prepped. First, I suggest you going on the website and really getting an understanding of how to register. It's pretty simple, but a lot of things can be complicated if you've never done it before. So I suggest you reading all the rules, all the requirements that you need to get ready, because you have to make a Pokemon account on I think it's called RK9, and you also have to make sure that your team is ready to go and in the system, I think a week before or the night before the tournament happens. So get ahead of it, right? And that's what I did. I mean, I didn't put my team in super early, but I knew that website well enough, so when that time came, it was really no confusion there. So I suggest that the next thing I suggest that you do is you need to follow somebody on YouTube, on Twitch, on somewhere that is really good at the game, right? So for example, I'm a big fan of That's a Plus One. I watch, Cybertron Zane. I watch Nails. I watch a lot of these great VGC players, and the reason why I watch them is because, for one, they're better than me, right? You can only get better by watching other people that are better than you and been in the game longer than you. So that's one thing I suggest, man. Learn from other people, man. Don't sit there and go off your own personal opinion or your own thoughts. Don't get me wrong, there should be some creativity there, but these guys know the meta. These guys have been around in the game longer, and they're going to put you in a position and understanding that you need to be successful, because if you don't spend your money, man, you won't be successful. You don't want to go out there and just get whooped on. You really want to have a grip on what you're getting yourself into. So that's what I suggest. Follow somebody on YouTube, on Twitch, or anything like that that's going to give you the understanding and the ability to be successful while you at the VGC tournament. So my next point is, make sure you give yourself an opportunity to go on and learn Showdown. Showdown is an awesome resource that I didn't know nothing about going into competitive playing, right? I remember I've seen people talk about it, even watch YouTube videos, seeing people on it, and I thought oh, you gotta have a paid subscription to do that kind of stuff. It's not, it's free. Showdown is free, Pokélytics is free, and these sites help you a lot to understand EV training, to understand typing and battling, and get a chance to battle people really fast without doing all the grinding within the game, right? So one thing I used to do, especially in Sword and Shield, I used to get on my game and I used to grind all day long. And guess what? It meant nothing, because I didn't really do the research. I didn't do any of the right EVs and know what's good and what's not good and what kind of nature helps better than another nature. So that just put me in a weird place every single time I used to battle my friends or go online. But this time around, when I was told by Showdown by one of the people that I follow on YouTube, man, it was just an awesome experience, because now I can put all the prep work, all the hard work without any grinding, right? And that's just super helpful. And then I also suggest you guys check out Pokélytics. Pokélytics is really cool because it give you it show you tiers of what's the most popular Pokemon being used right now, and how they're being used and how effective they are and like what common moves they are. So it's so much information out there, guys. Use the information that's given to you. Use the sites that can help you build your team up. So when you do get on the Switch and you do get in game, you don't have to do all that thinking. It's already there. You can look on your PokePace and you can look on Showdown and then just transfer it over to your team, and then your team is ready to rock, to go on ladder or to do whatever you were trying to do, or for my case, to go to a regional. So the next thing I think anybody should do if they're gonna go to a regional or just even wanna like get really high on ladder online or going against other people, maybe suggest coaching. I know the first thing people may think, like, oh my gosh, like why would I like pay for coaching, or like why would I even like take the time to do that? For one, it gives you that one-on-one experience with somebody that's a pro and that's been in won regionals or been to worlds, and that experience, and you get to have that one-on-one conversation with them versus like only getting a reply back from them through chat or through Patreon or through Twitch. And I think that's just an awesome opportunity to like brainstorm, right? I decided to do my coaching with That's a Plus One, and let me tell you, it was a great experience. It allowed me to be able to say things and like speak my opinion about things, and for him to either redirect my thought process in a different direction or to confirm things that I believe in that I thought that was right about the game. And like honestly, like I think I did like 4 weeks of coaching. First I did 2 weeks, and it was just literally learning my playing style, right? Learning what the meta is like, you know, us brainstorming what team, and he's always made me feel comfortable saying, hey, we have time. You don't have to settle on one team. Like we're gonna play around with different Pokemon, and whatever team we come up with, and whatever playing style we come up with, it's gonna be the one that you're gonna feel confident with going into the regional. So that was a really just good experience. The other thing that's really cool about that is that you get to like really, you know, be able to like pick each other's brains, and also like have an opportunity to see like what you really, how, like, you know, what you really like. You know, I didn't know what I really liked, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what my playing style was until I did the coaching. I didn't know, there's certain EV spreads that optimize the item life orb. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things you don't get when you just going on YouTube and stuff like that. Sometimes you do. Sometimes people are like, you know, gracious and give those information out. But to have that one-on-one coaching, to have somebody to like encourage you on the process of getting prepped for a regional, is a really cool experience, man. I suggest it, man. I suggest you guys to follow Thassa. He was really cool. Get his coaching. You can follow him on Patreon. I can put a link on the end of this video. That's going to be at the bottom where you can get more information. So, all right. So this next point, man. This next thing that I really want to talk about that is so crucial. I'm gonna say it again. Let me get a little closer to the camera. This point right here is crucial. It is crucial for getting ready for a regional. And I don't know, a lot of people tell people this, but it's absolutely important. So let me get into it. You have to get best of 3 practice. I'm gonna say it again. You must get best of 3 practice. What do I mean by best of 3? So in any regional format or any competitive format or any regional, it's a best of 3 open team sheet. And when you go online and you play ladder, it's not best of 3, it's best of 1. You battle this person one time. If you get lucky or you dominate them or you get, you know, destroyed, you don't get a second chance. You either win or lose, and then that decides your ranking. Versus at a regional, you have to go against somebody best out of 3, and you have to best them at least 2 times in order to get the win, right? And that is so much harder than going on ladder and beating somebody randomly or getting lucky because they don't know your items or they don't know your terra type, versus people knowing your terra type, people knowing your items, people knowing your movesets. And the only thing they don't know is your EVs, right? And that's so hard, bro. Like that is so much harder and so much tougher. And it takes a different type of battling style than it does going on ladder. So I suggest that to you guys. Like, man, it's so important to go on Limitless. Limitless is a great resource. I'm gonna link it down on the description below. Check out Limitless, man. Every single week they have tournaments for best of 3 in the regulation that Pokemon is setting for that time. And you can get all the practice you can ever dream of. And it was such a good time. And not only that, it showed you like what Pokemon was popular in that tournament you joined, like who was in it, like, you know, who brought, this, Murkrow was brought, like 5 people brought Murkrow to the tournament, or 10 people brought Flutterman. You know what I'm saying? It shows you all that information. The other thing it shows, man, it's like, it shows something that I didn't like really understand until I got to the regional, and it's called resistance. Like when you balance somebody and say, for example, you lost them, right? If they end up doing really, really, really good, right? Your resistance is pretty high, and somebody can correct me in the comments if I'm saying this wrong. But your resistance is pretty good because that person did. So you lost to a really good, strong player. But if your resistance is low, like say if you lost to somebody that end up like the only win they got was against you, and ever since then they've been losing. That's bad resistance, right? And that's what Limitless showed you too, because it shows you, it ranks you out. Like if there's 20 people, on the schedule, or 20 people that's in the tournament, if you and the opponent both got the same record, but his or hers resistance is better than yours, they're gonna be higher than you, right? And vice versa. So that's something to keep in mind too. Like, pay attention to, like, you can pay attention to your opponent, how they're doing, and then also make sure you pay attention to your matches. But that's another thing. The biggest thing out of getting into Limitless is getting the opportunity to play against strong players that's prepping for regionals just like you are, or just trying to get ready for best of 3 battles just like you are, and to get that experience, guys. You need that experience, you need that help. If you go to a regional and the only thing you've been doing is playing ladder, you're not going to perform well. You're not going to perform well. Like for example, I had a friend, he's a decent player. Like to our standards, he's a decent player, and I begged him, like, please get on Limitless. It's different than playing on ladder. He didn't listen, and it didn't really work out as much, at the regional, because he didn't get that chance to get that practice in. So that's a crucial moment. If you don't take anything out of what I'm saying, you can go on YouTube. If you don't want to listen to YouTube, go on YouTube and follow other VGC players that are better than you, or you don't want to get coaching or go on Showdown. You have to get best of 3 practice. It's so important. So I want to make sure I stress that before I move on to my next point. The next thing I really want to touch on, guys, is we got to make sure that your team sheet is correct. I'm going to show you why as an example. So I kept my team sheet, and I know you guys can't really see, but I kept my team sheet. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is traumatizing, all right? This is really frustrating, but I'm going to go ahead and express my frustrations about this. So if you don't know this, I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. You see that's like extra writing on my team sheet, and that's like an initial. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. Let me tell you why. So your boy feeling good, right? I'm 2-0, right? I'm in the regional. I'm 2-0. I'm clowning, man. I'm doing really good. I'm like, man, I'm confident. I'm doing pretty good. I belong here. So I get in my 3rd match, right? And my opponent, like, I think he's actually pretty decent. And I come out with the right lead, and I just start going to work and doing really good. And I don't think he was expecting like me to be that good. But then it got to his last Pokemon was a Fluttermane. And I remember this like it was yesterday. It was a Fluttermane, and I had a Glamour out. And instead of clicking, I clicked Sludge Wave. And as soon as I clicked Sludge Wave, my opponent raised their hand and said, hey, that's not on your team sheet. And I was like, get out of here, bro. You're lying. You're lying to me right now. So the judge come over. We look at the team sheet, and my team sheet said Sludge Bomb, not Sludge Wave. I was sick. I was devastated, angry, couldn't believe it. Like, I was so mentally out of it. Like, after that happened, because when that happened, if there's ever a time where you're battling somebody and your team sheet is not correct, you automatically got to give your opponent that match. Automatically. The cool thing is I didn't have to lose my Pokemon for the rest of the regional. I just had to have him update my team sheet and him initial it so they know, like, hey, from here on out, this ain't going to be an issue with Sludge Bomb. And I had to continue to tell each opponent after that in every round, just so you know, it was fixed by a judge. No confusion, so nobody else can take a match from me for free. But the mental, like, breakdown that caused, the mental discouragement that caused, like, literally, like, since he got a free round for me, even though I had him down to his last Pokemon in the first match, by the time the second match happened, man, I wasn't even trying. I just mentally like gave up. And I know that's bad. I should have like stayed in the game instead of like, and stood my ground. I was so mentally distorted because I was doing so well, just for it to be taken away from me for one mistake on my own, and for me to beat myself, it was devastating. So I cannot express to you guys as much as I don't know what else to say. Please make sure when you go to Arcade9, make sure your moves are correct. Make sure everything in there is accurate. You're going to regret it when things are not accurate. It's gonna get on your nerve. It's gonna be the worst loss that you ever take for no reason if you don't make sure everything is accurate. Like, I should have double checked my Arcade9. I should have made sure, like, I know, like, I think the very first point I was like, make sure you know the website. I did. I put everything in. It just, when I literally type in sludge, I thought I put sludge wave and it was a sludge bomb. Like, those little details, man, can cost you a match, and I don't want that to happen to none of you guys, because it was really hard for me to bounce back. Luckily, I won my next match after that to kind of like make myself feel better, so I won't feel like so frustrated. But man, I'm telling you, it was like one of those things like, what if I won that match? What if I would have walked in 3-0? Like, how cool would that have been? Who would I would have went against? Like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was just one of those things. So make sure your team sheet's right. That's my biggest. I'm done ranting. I'm done complaining about it. Make sure your team sheet's right so you don't have the same mistakes I did. My last and final point of all of this, and I hope you guys are listening. I hope everybody's listening. It's so important. It's like so critical. You ready? Have fun. Have fun. I'm gonna say it again. Have fun. I don't think the people in the back heard me. Have fun. It's so important, man. It's so important for you to have a good time. You done sat there and grinded. You've been battling like crazy. You've been, doing all this research, listening to all the videos. Man, have a good time. Like, I cannot tell you guys how many people I've seen drop from the tournament because they started off bad. And no shade to them. It's your money. It's your decision if you're gonna drop from a regional. But I refuse. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, if you're gonna pay your money, like, okay, so let me put things in perspective for me. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I got a house. I mean, I'm a regular guy. I should love playing Pokemon, right? And some guys are like that, right? But anything that causes you to drive out 5 hours away, to pay for Airbnb, to pay for food out of town, to pay for gas, to pay for all these things that's super expensive, just to leave, just because it's not going your way, hey, it's just dumb. Like, play it out, guys. Like, that's one of my biggest things, man. Play it out, dude. I suggest you guys to have a good time. Meet people, man. There was so many cool people I met at the regional, and I'm gonna show there's a slide at the end of this video where I took pictures with, like, some of the most coolest people I met at the tournament. Like, we even got a group picture with, like, like the 2 finalists of the regional. Like, it was super amazing, and like, that's what it's all about, right? You finally around people that love to play this game just as much as you do. So there's no reason to leave. Like, and like, for me to be a guy to have 2 kids and a wife and involved in other things that's super important to me outside of Pokemon, like, I didn't really have high expectations for myself, right? I didn't go in there saying, oh, I'm gonna win the regional. Like, there's people that put in work from Monday through Friday. Like, some people, this is their job. Their job is to be tapped into Pokemon. That's not my job, right? That's like, it's something I like to do, and it's something that I would like to get better at, but I'm never gonna go in with this huge expectation on myself to say, oh, I'm just gonna be the champ. Like, if I can be the champ, awesome, but I came there to play the best of my abilities. So I ended up ending the regional 4-5. I was really trying to get that 5 win to have a winning record, but 4-5 wasn't that bad. It put me at the top, like, I want to say top 300 out of the 651 people that played that day. And I was pretty proud of myself. Don't get me wrong. I definitely want to do better if I ever do go back to a regional. I definitely gonna be shooting for that winning record, and maybe But like the golden thing is like to get on stream, right? To like have a chance to play on stream against a really good opponent and to like win. You know what I'm saying? That's like, those are the goals for me next time. Like if I ever play again, go to a regional, not even play again, I'm gonna keep playing Pokemon. But if I ever go to another regional, I would like for those things to happen. Have a winning record and maybe do so well at the beginning where it costs me to be on stream. So like, and that's it, guys. That's my advice. That's my, like, you know, couple of cents about like my experience at a regional. And guys, like, it was so fun. I really do recommend you guys checking it out. And man, like, I can't stress it enough, man. If you like this video, man, please give it a like, man. Smash that like button. Subscribe to your boy, man. I'm gonna do more videos like this. I'm also continue to push out my anime reviews, man. And if you came all the way to the end of this video, I really appreciate your time and appreciate everything that you guys do for me. So, you know, you already know what time it is, man. For more content like this, all you gotta do is subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.